Hello and welcome to the Game Shed with me, Mark. In today's video I'm going to give you a brief overview of the software of the Retron 5. Now, as you can see here, this is the home screen. Now it's very handy having this home screen because you can get to everything from here, including game menu, settings, and to turn the machine off. So what I'm going to do just briefly here is just show you through the settings, let you see what you get to play with and what extra stuff you get with the Retron 5. So let's go into the settings right here, and as you can see, starting off you get the image filter. This is the first option here, and when you scroll through that you get different filters for games. Now I'm not a massive fan of these filters because I kind of feel like it takes away from the original games, but it's up to you. You might actually quite like them. So what I'll do in a minute is I will put a game in and I will show you how those filters look. Next you've got scan lines. Again, I'm not a massive fan of this. Alright, it brings back some nostalgic feelings, but it's a bit of a gimmick really. So aspect ratio, you get to mess with that. So stretch will make it widescreen, normal will make it sort of the box shape, and so 4:3, and widescreen 16:9, and zoom I have yet to test. Overscan, force original resolution, screen refresh rate, and screen size. Now screen size you can actually see as I do that. Hopefully in the video you'll be able to see that shrink and grow. Refresh rate is if you're playing international games and you want to force the hertz. I haven't found this to be a problem. I just do match game and it always seems to match it fine. Right, down we go to the audio section and you will see sound enhancement. This actually does make a bit of a difference. In a lot of the retro games you'll find that there's amazing music, but it is let down a little bit by the quality of it, and that is enhanced a bit here. You can boost the bass and the treble. GUI sound effects, that's obviously these strange noises that come up on here. Generally I've just left those on. They are a little bit annoying, but it's up to you. Move down onto controllers. You can manage your controller from here. I've got two controllers and this is the way that you map them, and also it is the way that you join them to the Retron. So very simply, manage Retron 5 controllers. You go in there and you press and hold the home key on your controller and it will sync up. So this section here is the controller to player mapping. This lets you choose which controller is which player. So as you can see there, obviously in the NES Famicom there's just the two players, so any controller 1, any controller 2. As you go along you'll see it adds more players. So that's the SNES there, you get to choose them there. Retron wireless controller, or let's just say, whoa, it's going mental. I've chosen Retron there. Because I've only got one controller plugged in, it's only finding one controller. But as you scroll through you can see GBA, Genesis. Depending on what game you're playing you can choose which players are using which controllers. That makes a big difference if you've got other controllers plugged in, like a SNES controller, Mega Drive controller, whatever. Next up, button mapping. You can choose here what your buttons do on your controller. This is generally for the Hyperkin Retron 5 controllers themselves. You can go through and mess about with them, but I haven't needed to so far. It generally picks them up and makes them right when you pop in a game. So you can also create profiles there. I don't know if you saw that there. Add new profiles, and then you can change the profile as and when you want. Okay, so this is hotkey configuration. If you go in here you can actually map some extra buttons on your controller. So if you've got a SNES controller you can change one of the buttons in game to do different things. In game menu you can actually say currently down start, gets you to the menu from a SNES controller. So obviously you can do different combinations to do different things. So they'd be buttons that you wouldn't normally press together. So down and start, up and start you might want to change to save state. I haven't got a SNES controller plugged in at the moment, but this is a great little feature that lets you do these things that are really handy, like load state, save state, screenshot, all these things that you might want to do. Next up we've got system, and the first one here is console region. I've just left this on auto. I don't really see why you would change it, because generally it picks it up straight away. I haven't had any problems with foreign carts or anything like that. Auto load last state, that is brilliant, because you put your cart back in, it will remember where you left off. Even if you take the cart out, it will remember. Next option, auto start cartridge on insertion. This is something that some people would like, because as soon as you put the cartridge in, the game will start. I would prefer for the game not to start straight away, and that you put the cartridge in, you make sure that the console has loaded the game, and then you can just click start. It's up to you, it's another option there. Automatically import saves on first run. Down here you've got no SD card inserted. That's because I literally haven't got an SD in there. So you can go into File Manager, you can look at your internal storage, snapshots, blah blah blah, everything else. You can also look at the File Manager for the SD card if you've got one in there. Show Retron quick info on startup, generally no. System information, you can check what version of the software you've got, so that if you need to update it, you know what you're going from and to. And that is the end of the menu. So one thing I just want to show you quickly, check these out here. This is for your Retron controller, the wireless controller that you get with it. Here is left shortcut button. So there's a little button just next to the analog stick that lets you save state. The right shortcut button, you can change, you can cycle the filters, you can do the next state slot, previous state slot, toggle scan lines. There's so many options. I'm just going to scroll through them. Cycle aspect ratio, volume, mute audio. That's a really handy one, because if you're sitting there playing, someone walks in and starts talking to you, you can just mute the audio and carry on playing. Take screenshot, toggle pixel perfect scaling, save state. So the one for me personally is the mute audio. That's going to be really handy. Controller auto off, 5 minutes. I'm just going to extend that to 10. It's a little bit annoying. It does save on batteries though. Power off connected controllers as if you want to turn them off and use your original controllers. So just thought I'd slap that in there before I got on to putting a cart in. So we'll go back to the home screen, and as you can see here, game menu, this will work once I've got a game in there, and play, that just plays the game. So there we go, I popped in an NES title. This is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. So here we go, let's check out the game menu. What can we do for the game? Copy save to Retron. This literally will copy the save game that you've got on your cart to the Retron. Now the top option here is cheats. Now I haven't actually imported the cheats database, so all you have to do is go on the website, download the cheats database, put it on an SD card, and then put that into your Retron. This is something I will go into in another video, and I will show off how well the Retron deals with cheats for games. So here we go, unable to load cheats, SD card is not inserted. So let's come out of that. So you can also copy a save state to the cartridge. Now this is very clever, which means you can copy the save state to the cart, take the cart to a friend's house and pop it into a regular system or into another Retron. So it's just another option that they give you, which could be really handy for some of you out there. So I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to go into the game and show you exactly how it looks. So there we go, Disney's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Let's go into a one-player game. Press start, preferably. Shall I be Chip or Dale? I'm going to be Chip. So here we go, you get an idea of how good the game looks here, and I will just briefly show you through some of the features when you're in a game. So if you click the home button, it brings you to this menu. So you've got return to game, load state. So if you've got a save state on there, you can just literally load it from here. Save state slot, you can choose which slot you want to save this save state in. Then you get onto filters. So as I scroll through them, I have to go like that and then return to game in order to show you what the filter looks like. Now, is it just me or does that look a little bit odd? I will be very interested to hear your opinions on this. If you've played any emulation before, you know all about these filters. So I'm going to show you the next one. Filter, Super 2x SAL. I'm going to show you a few of these. That's just tidied it up a little bit, as you can see there. Next up is Super Eagle. I'm going to show you through two more, and then I'm going to get onto the other features. It's a little bit different. Is there much in it? I can't see much of a difference. Scale times 2. Let's try this one. Oh, scale times 2. Yeah, it's a bit more pixely. They try to go for this smooth look, and I'm not a massive fan. Hey, right, I'm sweating now. Let's go down to scan lines. Let's turn those on and show you what that looks like, just so you can get an idea of what else you can do. So you see the lines there? Do you want that? Do you not want that? Is that a feature that you would use? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be very interested. Finally, let's turn them scan lines off. You can see here you can turn the volume up and down. If you remember from before, you could have changed your buttons on the controller to be volume up and down. Return to menu and reset. So I haven't got a take screenshot option here because I haven't got an SD card in, very simply. So there you go. I'm going to turn the filter off and give you just about a minute's worth of gameplay, just so you can see how it looks. Personally, I prefer that. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Pow! I forgot how fun this game is. There we go. Let's pick up the apple. I've got to get this dog. Yeah. Right. So there you go. That is my brief overview of the Retron 5 software. Soon I will be showing off some of the differences between playing a game in the Retron and playing the game in the original console. Just want to show you the graphics difference, the sound difference, and everything like that. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.